To one of my buyers, I don't know your story, the story that led you to purchase my body for sex. Yet over and over again, I have imagined that your wife did not know that you would come to my room each week wearing the ring she gave you on your wedding day. Most likely, she did not know that you would show me, just a little girl at the time, pictures of your family, including your 2 young daughters that were around my age. I'm guessing she did not know the way you would call me by their names and describe in details your fantasies to brutally rape them, always starting with smothering them so they couldn't fight back. Every time that you would place the pillow on my face, a dichotomy existed within me. On one hand, I hoped that I would die so I could escape my living hell, and on the other hand, I desired to live so that I could keep your little girls from experiencing the things that you did to me. As I became a woman, you told me I wasn't what you were really wanting. You told me that you liked younger girls because, in your own words, they made your heart burst with excitement. Rejection and terror seized my entire being. How many other little girls have you purchased and hurt throughout your lifetime, exchanging your money for a sexual release of sadistic pleasure? The reality is, although I have had many buyers, both men and women, who've purchased my body for the dark reality of their hidden desires, I am remembering you tonight. Your body odor and rancid breath are permanently burned into my memory, including the way it felt to have you stare at me and the way your hands groped me. I'm remembering what it felt like to not be able to breathe and the gasp of breath that would come when the rush of cool air would hit my face. I'm remembering the ways that my body and my heart would hurt after you would leave. Since I never looked you in the eyes, it would be impossible for me to identify you in a lineup or a mugshot, which means I do not have enough evidence or information to turn you in. I only have my intimate memories, my triggers, and the deep pain I carry. Here, I have had to come to terms with the fact that I will never experience the relief of knowing that your sick fantasies have been stopped for good. This reality in and of itself has been excruciatingly hard for me to process. Then, as I have had people tell me that I need to publicly say names and put people like you in jail for the crimes that they've committed against me as a little girl. But I do not have the ability to put people in jail. That is the job of a judge. All I can do is tell my truth, so that is what I am doing. I am learning that justice is not my responsibility, nor should the pursuit of criminal charges be the societal expectation placed on victims of crime. Rather, our only responsibility is to pursue healing, which for me has included the process of forgiving you. Forgiving you does not mean that you are left off the hook for what you have done to me. Rather, forgiveness means that I am pursuing my own journey of healing and releasing you to God, living in my freedom. My body, it does not belong to you anymore. Rather, I am choosing to express my grief and vulnerably talk about the traumas that I have experienced, as well as embrace the things that bring me joy. The shame I have felt through this process is not mine to carry. It is yours. I pray for you that someday you will repent of your crimes and turn yourself in. I pray that you will find Jesus. I pray for your wife. I pray for your daughters and other victims of your crimes, that they too will be able to experience freedom from the emotional pain of your choices and harmful actions. I pray for the little girl inside of me, that she will also be able to live completely free. Justice will come. It has not been silenced by your abuse, nor is it lost by my Redeemer. I might not know your story, but I am choosing to live within mine. I am Jessa Dillow Crisp.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. Hello over there to the ones in the YouTube, Periscope TV, Twitch, and Facebook. I ask that y'all would take this moment to share this discussion hour. This is very important. Don't ever feel it could never hit home. We can never feel that we are untouchable. This is very important for our young ones as well as the ones that are on the internet. So we're going to be talking today about human sex trafficking, and it is at its high, very high right now. So to start off, we're going to go ahead and bring in our guests, starting off with our co-host from Austin, Texas, Dwight Robinson. Our sister co-host, Denise. And we also have back with us again, Keisha. Thank you. How is the beautiful people doing today? Great.
Great.
And Mr. Dwight, thank you again. We want to let everybody know that starting in October is Domestic Violence Month, as you already know, and we're going to be, as a lot of y'all are informed, is that we're going to be, I'm going to be going for surgery. So they're going to be standing by. I will be in the backstage, but you will not be able to see me. But the co-host will be taking over as well as the assistant co-host. They'll be going, taking turns and keeping the show going for the domestic violence. So we will not be out on that. So make sure y'all tune in. Okay, now this is a serious topic. And I know that Keisha, she have shared some things with me that she will also be bringing out during the show. And, this is one thing that is what we could call the parents versus nightmare. And it's not just happening to real young women, but also happening to older women as well. So, we need to be careful when we go out and be aware. Um, I don't know if y'all agree, but I know I see now, especially since the COVID has happened, I feel like that the number one way for them to work through the human trafficking now is on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
Okay.
as you've seen, we have seen some episodes to where we have pedophiles on there, but we got the human traffickers because at first, it was just at places like parties, games, or shopping malls, but now it's like you're not even safe in your own home on your computer because you don't know what they're doing, what your children are doing on the internet. So, what is your opinion and what is your thoughts on the lady that just spoke on her letter to the person that did what he did to her because she was also kidnapped for human trafficking?
I think it was very it was disturbing
Mm,
what someone could actually do to someone else. Um it kind of touched my heart because she looked like she this apparently happened to her when she was much younger, but
yeah.
just to describe how she felt and when she talked about his breath and him, just the heaviness of him. So that's going to stay in her mind. I don't think people understand that even though some people may be found, they still live, they're basically still trapped in their own minds by the memories of all the things that happened to them. It's a
Yeah,
blessing for them to be found, but it's still a struggle for them to go, day to day to day, just dealing with the memory of the person that kidnapped them and done harm to them.
yes. I mean, she didn't go over, how it all came about, and I looked at a few videos on, you know, how they target their prey, and we will discuss that because it's something that needs to be brought about and educated about. But my co-host, what is your thoughts on her letter to the person that did this to her?
Well, one thing I want to say is that it was a powerful letter she wrote, and it's something that's going on every day. We have to be so careful, and I agree so much, especially now with the internet and everything. It's really no safe place. I mean, people are getting kidnapped, made as a sex slave, and either that or they're getting kidnapped and getting their organs taken out.
Yeah,
Organ people come up disappearing every single day, and the number just keep getting higher. So you definitely have to watch out for young people. I'm thinking about young children, teenagers, people in their 20s, uh, because it's real out here. It's very real
yeah.
out here. We just gotta be careful these times. We
But
gotta
it's
be
sad that
careful.
you're not even safe in your own front yard because in Houston, Texas, this lady is still missing. She was snatched from her driveway as soon as she came out of her car. And to this day, they have not found her. So
Exactly.
it's like you're not safe. You got to be aware no matter what's going on. You got to make sure you stay focused and be aware of your surroundings. Now, Denise, after seeing that video of that lady with the letter, what are your thoughts and how do you feel about that?
Well, I didn't get to see the whole letter because I had my little technical difficulties. I had to switch computers.
Okay.
Uh, but I don't know what she was talking about exactly. I
Okay.
don't.
Well, she did write a letter to the person that did it. She said that she couldn't describe him. The things he did to her, and he had a wedding ring, he had a wife, he had children that he spoke to her about. And she described how, he would put a pillow over her face and everything. But I mean, my thing is that, you could definitely tell she has been deeply traumatized by
Traumatized.
this.
Yeah.
It's something that she would never forget. But at the same time, I don't see her as weak because it takes a strong person to forgive.
No, it's not. She's not weak. I have to forgive my perpetrator.
Mm,
So it, if you let it, it'll just eat you up. And she did the right thing by forgiving him. And I'm not saying move on, but
right.
to to get a better grasp of her own life. I understand it completely.
Yes,
But
yes.
it's very, very hard to forgive someone that violates you like that and destroy you, basically, almost completely destroy you.
Yeah. All her innocence was, just
Taken.
her rights were taken, you
Hmm.
know, and it's something that is hard to live with because I mean, you speak of rape victims and child molesters but to have your child taken from you like a thief in the night and to be put up for sale
Hmm.
more or less it's a nightmare for even a parent. We used to back in the day could walk with our child behind us. We used to just sit at a park and read a book while our child plays. Now we can't do that because just I think it was last night I seen a TikTok video where this lady, I thank God that this child was covered, and but it was a woman that was in the park where the children were, and there was a van that was sitting on the side, and she was trying to kidnap this lady's child. Thank God the cops were there in time because when the lady went across there and snatched her child, she was trying to get another child. But the cops were able to get her, so they did show on handcuffs. They was not able to get the person that was in the van because they drove off. So it's like some as little as that as blink as an eye, your child could be gone.
Yeah.
I know, circumstances in my own life to where, it was, I think it was Super Kmart, or was it Walmart? It was one of them. They used to be on Walzone. And my son was just born, and my ex-husband had gave me money to go buy clothes. And this lady, I'll never forget her. I would never forget her. She was a heavy set Caucasian lady. Her hair was like a dirty blonde. She had this brown coat on with this like dirty fur around it. And she kept following me, and I kept looking at her. And I had my son, which at the time, if you think about it, and I have pictures of him, he was you would think he was a white baby, because that's what Whitford thought he was.
Yeah.
He looked white, he had blue eyes, you know, and he had a lot of hair, but he was real straight. And so she was trying to encourage me to go into the fitting room to try on the clothes that I had picked out and let her watch my son. Now, at this time, this is when Walmart had first came out with the alert that had that gun on, to where if there was a cold, they locked all the doors. But at the time, I was in my early 20s, but I was wiser than that. I told her straight. I said, "Look, I know my size. I know what I need to wear. I don't need you watching my son. You need to get away from me, because if I need to try these on, I can take him in the fitting room with me." Now, there was also another circumstance where uh, my niece was practically kidnapped if it wasn't for my second niece's dad. And what it was, my sister was not paying attention at all, and the guy had snatched my niece. And when the ex-boyfriend seen this, he seen the guy going up the escalator, and my niece was screaming. And so he ran up there, and he was able to grab him and grabbed the baby. I don't know. I can't remember if they caught the guy or whatever. But at that time, it just like, yes, we was upset with my sister, because my thing is, you should have been paying attention to her. You
Mm.
know, we cannot think at any moment that our child is just right there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, uh, I used to be against harness. At this point, I'd rather have the little leash on side of me connected, or
Oh,
you go
I have one.
hold
I
my,
ain't gonna
you
lie.
go
I
hold my
have
hand.
one. I
Yeah.
have one.
So that way the child is connected. You know, the one thing I could say about my first child was that my first child, he was we didn't have him around a lot of people, just the intermediate family, to where wasn't quick to go off with people. So if somebody tried to call him over, like one person tried to call him over when he was in Germany, and he hit my leg, mom, mom, and he was pointing at the person. And I was like, is there a reason why you calling my son? So there's things that we do need to teach our children, but as parents, we need to watch our children. Even, I say these 20 years, when you think that nothing can happen to you, when you think you're always safe,
Mm-mm. You're not.
they're watching you. And it's not just in
Yeah.
these type of environments, but also with dating. You do not know the man that these young people are getting with. And this will be described in the video that we have, but it's very touching. And I know that Keisha had shared something with me at the beginning before we came on, and I'm gonna let her tell us a little bit about what she found. Keisha, okay, your mic is on mute.
My mic is off.
Yeah, it's on mute.
Mute. There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Okay, there we go. So the first one, I believe you already mentioned about the 25-year-old college student from Illinois,
Oh,
but the second one is a 15-year-old young lady from Chicago. They found her in an abandoned building, her fingertip cut off, and some of her body organs missing. The complaint is none of the brown people that are going missing are being in the media, so their stories are not getting out. That's the problem. So the problem is even bigger than the person taking them, because it's not getting out. So even if we could work together, we don't get the story till after something has happened, or it's been numerous days and the person's, already gone. So please keep that family from Chicago, in your thoughts and your prayers, because they did lose their daughter. They did find her body in the abandoned building.
Thank you. And I think this is a problem, before we go to break and look at this first video that's very disturbing. But I know on TikTok they starting to complain now, and they starting to push a lot more, because when it came down to Gabby's situation, they had the feds involved, the cops involved. They was all on the internet. They was on every news channel. The effort and time and money that went in to try to find this young lady, there's a lot of people that's complaining that their child is not given the same attention, and they're feeling like the minorities are the ones that's not getting it at all. And I stood quiet until I start watching and start paying attention and thinking about it, and it does appear that way. And that's why I say anybody out there, if anything, which I pray nothing does happen to anyone's child or a loved one, you know, hit me up, contact me. We'll make sure we get it on air so that they can see. And so, also, Lashonda Johnson, thank you for tuning in. She said there is also a young lady in Los Medea. Oh, go to media coverage. Yeah, that's true. And I'm seeing it more on the TikTok than anything, where there's a lot of people speaking up now, because even a young man that was, forgive me for forgetting his name, but I've been seeing his face through the weeks and them pleading to find him. He was a very intelligent young man. He was in a university going to be, I think, into medicine or something like that. But it wasn't until the mother got to pushing, because they found the body in a river weeks ago. And it was no more mentioned because every focus was on Gabby. But they just found out today, after she pushed and pushed at the police department, that it is her son. So that was all they was able to come up with right now. There's no other evidence of the cause of death, but they did identify his body was found, because I know at first they found his car, and it's been weeks. But it's been weeks they've been having that body, and nothing has been said.
Wow.
And so after the Gabby thing, and the mother was like, "What about my child? Y'all gave all this attention, but what about my child?" And now they say that it is his body. So, our prayers and hearts go out to her and her family. It's just sad how a lot of these missing cases we don't hear about because it's not given the proper attention.
No.
And I do feel honestly that, Gabby's disappearance, she said Georgia, was given a lot of special attention, especially when you see the FBI involved. So now they look for the guy, because they are ruling it as homicide. They haven't ruled the cause of death, but there must have been some type of evidence on her body to where they immediately said homicide. So they are looking for him now. So, we pray that he's found alive and that justice is served. But in my heart, I feel like it's not going to be a good ending to that one as well. So, we're going to look at this, take a break and look at this one video, which is very disturbing. Please be advised, it is very disturbing when you see this. When I seen it, my heart dropped and I about cried, because when Trump did get into office, and I said this is just happening since Trump, but since he got in office, a lot of kids did come up missing, and they don't know where they at. So take a minute and view this video here, because we'll be coming back discussing this.
So here we are at South International Boulevard. And Rio Grande, right here in South Texas on the Texas-Mexico border. And this is a giant illegal facility being massively expanded by Joe Biden, the puppet president, who said, once I'm in office, immediately surge the United States. And now children, many of them kidnapped, it's on record, even Senate reports, are being smuggled and given to the Democratic Party. So they come across the border, they're taken here by buses by the Border Patrol that's now being ordered by Biden to engage in this crime with them, aid and abet. They then bring them to this facility for a few days, prepare them, and then, look right here come the buses. They don't want us getting this.
Let's go. Get across the street.
Hey, you're running criminal activity.
No,
don't you do your color of law with us, buddy boy. This is not private property. This is a right of way. And you're smuggling children. You don't try your color of law with me. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
This is illegal. This is illegal, and you're outside your jurisdiction. You are a fraud. You're a security guard and a liar. Those are kidnapped children and families illegally being smuggled to the United States. Don't you try your security guard stuff with us. We know you're trying to destroy this country. We're here to stop you. You and your boss Biden that said, rush the border, collapse this country. Our reporters were out here a few days ago. You told them they can't be here. Those are power poles. Those are right-of-ways that the taxpayers pay for. We have right to ride horses down this, to walk down this, do whatever we want right here. You're putting these barriers up right here. This right here violates state and federal law. This is an illegal encumbrance, like everything else you're doing. Everything you do is a goddamn crime. And just because you come and wave your finger at us doesn't make you the boss. It's what you call color of law, just like they're doing smuggling these children in here. This whole thing's a goddamn fraud. All of this is taxpayer paid for. All of this is a giant criminal fraud. All of this. Stay out of my space, buddy.
I'm out of here.
You're already over here with your color of law, unlawfully trying to tell us we can't be right over there.
Why is the
And this whole thing is illegal to begin with. You all should be citizen arrested for what you're doing. Shame on you aiding and abetting child trafficking. You're destroying this country. Go ahead and wear your 2 masks. You're a slave. All of you are pathetic. Unbelievable, un-American garbage. All these people are signed on to criminal activity. Signed on to criminal activity.
There's also 2 other parts to that. If you have TikTok, look up Alex Jones. He does investigate this. It is real. When the bus you seen was carrying children for human trafficking. And what I'm not understanding, he's found this out. Why is nothing being done? Where are the feds on this? Where
That's a
is,
good question, Scott.
because if you look at when Trump came into office, a lot of Hispanic kids were snatched from their families.
Yep.
And now they are missing.
Yep. They don't know where they are.
And to this day, you do not know where they are. My heart says, look at that bus. That's what I feel. These people will never see their children again. These children will not see their parents again. I feel like all these children that was snatched, they could have been on that same, not that bus there, but that bus could have been used to be sold for human sex trafficking. And this is scary. It's just, to me, it's the idea and the thought that as a mother, you carry your child for 9 months. You raise your children, you love, you bond, you pour your life into your children for somebody to steal them from you and sell them. And just the thought of what those children are going through. It hurts. It really hurts. Yolanda, thank you for tuning in. She says it does not need to be shared more, and talk need to be more educated. That's why we're here. It does need to be shared so that other people can be notified and also aware of this as well. TT says, because the differences is nationalities. When the police pulled him over, it was the nicest, most accommodating detaining of a suspect. Yes.
Yeah.
The she says those children are in her what she says? I cannot harassments being oh, I can't even see it. Being sacrificed by wicked people in high places. Yes, I believe that. Eller, thank you for tuning in. She says, "Wow, the this is sad, not shocking." Yes, and I mean, it's not something that just started going on. It's something that's been going on. And my thing is that we need to start, you know, talking to our children. We need to also take measures as well as women because I've also seen a video to where these ladies were sitting, and it was more than one. I think there was three of them together, and they were sitting in this restaurant, and this guy was watching them. Now the restaurant manager noticed this thing. So when they got up to leave, this guy got up. So the manager followed him, and he walked past the guy and walked with the ladies and tell them, "Hurry up and get in your car and leave. This guy has been checking you out." Now the manager, and the guy that was because he walked close to the car. I mean, all the way close to the car and behind the manager, and he was telling him to hurry up and get in the car. And so the manager and this guy got into it. You know, the laws was called. I don't know if they caught the guy or not, but you know, even being in groups, you cannot still be safe. You got to make sure you carry your protection with you for one. Because you know, I know with me, so the people that's close to me, they know me what I carry. We got to make sure we're safe when we go out. We cannot just trust anything and think nothing is going to happen or, oh, my girl got me. No, that's not the case. When they really want you at a price, they will take you. And now that COVID is so much got everything on a lock, they're going to the internet
Yeah.
and they preying on the ones that are very easy to be taken. You know, because I know back in the day we used to say, "Oh, it's the blonde hair, blue eyed." It's not that no more. Because each color,
Sure not.
each asset has a price, a different price. And my thing is that you see what's happening, and these are children,
Mhm.
and it's scary. You know, especially like when you come to your houses. I make sure I got a top lock where my grandchildren can't reach. I got three other locks to where they cannot open that door to walk out the house because you never know. They walk out that house, somebody could be snatched them. Don't let your little ones answer the door. You don't know who that is at the door.
Hmm. That's right.
Yep.
So, I mean, how do y'all feel about this here? Because he does mention Biden, which I feel like personally, this has been going on before Biden. I
Long
think it's
before.
long before Trump. I think it's been going on. It's just now being discovered and being brought
Yeah.
out.
You can't blame it on one person. One
Yeah,
person can't do all this. Sorry.
exactly.
That's not how it works. This was
Well,
happening before Biden, before Bush, before Reagan, before all of them. It's just been going on and no one's done anything about it.
Exactly. And Eller says, I can't wrap my head around any adult having sexual feelings for a child. Like, what can it do for you? And I mean, me and my son talked about this last night, you know, like, because we read on something where the father raped the 10-month-old baby and killed her.
Yeah.
And we was like, the mindset, you know, and these are sick-minded people. But you also look at these type of people that doesn't have a conscience that's looking at money because it's high dollar for this stuff.
Hmm.
You know,
yes, it
TT
is.
said some blame Trump, some blame Biden. It's only one government. Thank you. And that's what a lot of people don't understand.
Well, some of this sex trafficking is coming from high people with a lot of money,
Hmm.
and they can hide their stuff. You know,
Yeah.
they can send out I'm talking about lawyers, doctors, judges, people, you know, that sit up pretty high and they hide behind their money, and they're part of the problem because they, one, know they can get away with it. Two, they know their money gonna help them get off.
Yeah.
But it's a ring of them. I was watching a show and they were pretty much basing it on it's a ring of pedophiles out there, and they're like a close-knit family. And they pretty much like help each other get whoever it is they're trying to get. And some men will tell you, I like them age 8, I like them age 6. I don't know what it is that they get out of them. It is very disgusting.
It is.
But that is
babies.
What they do. They order. It's like they're ordering up little kids.
Yeah.
And they get away with it.
TT says, we live in a country based on white supremacy. But when it comes to sex trafficking in the new world order, they don't care what color, that's true, what race, they want one religion, one supremacy, and everything is reversed. They want evil to be good.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, my thing is that, you know, like I said, we have to stand our ground against this, even as parents, you know, even for our loved ones. We do, like Yoli said, we need to be educated.
Yeah.
About this. We need to be aware of our surroundings. We need to take precautions. We need to look for the signs and knowing how to identify, even when our young daughters because I know some parents authorize from 15 up, but even these young ones that's starting to date, you know, they really don't know what they're getting into because you really don't know that man. And this could be a man that's setting you up for trafficking.
Yep.
You not even know it.
I have a story for you too about that.
Okay.
I do. It's a really good one too.
Come on with it. Let us see.
I believe I was about 11, 12 years old. You know, just getting the womanly parts, you know. And it's 4 of us. It's 4 of us, girls all together. And this happened when I was living out in the country as a kid. When we used to have a general store. And my biological father had his like buddies come over and they hang out, drink beer, and eat. And one time they was in the store having a conversation. My mother overheard it. And she told us later on, but she didn't tell us right away, but she told us later that they were up in there talking about how they could sell us. Wow. How they could use us for money.
Wow.
You got a lot of money sitting over there in the house over there. Why don't you sell them? Talking about us girls.
And what was the response?
My mama said, I can't use her words. She had some choice words. And she kept us away from over there when they were over there in that area.
Good. Did she ever report this or anything?
Well, my dad chuckled it. My biological father chuckled it off and said, no, those are my children. But if he had the opportunity, I'm sure he would.
Yes. TT says, amen. As parents and children of the Most High. Yes. And I mean, my thing is that we got to become even more protective of our children and grandchildren and loved ones than we've ever been before. Mm-hmm. You know, especially in this time. And like I said, you know, we got, you know, our daughters that are being preyed on.
We are being preyed on. We were surely getting preyed on.
So we got to be careful. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to a break. And I want to talk about this video where this guy, he actually, there's a couple of videos that's going to give y'all, you know, the signs of human trafficking. So we'll be back right after this.
Today, if you saw somebody chained to a post, you would do something about it. But in the days of the transatlantic slave trade, it was a normal sight to see. It isn't as clear today of what modern slavery looks like, but by knowing the signs of human trafficking, you can help protect yourself and you can help protect others. Traffickers would often brand their victims with tattoos using words such as daddy or cash. Trafficking victims may show sudden changes of dress and behavior. They may suddenly have possessions that they usually can't afford. They may have unusually long work hours. Victims may have new relationships with boyfriends or girlfriends that are noticeably older, and I'm not talking about a few years. Difficulty with making eye contact, especially with men. Victims may have untreated medical problems, such as cuts, bruises, burns, broken bones. They may miss school frequently, make frequent trips. Victims may be unable to speak independently. Other people may insist on answering questions for them, or even translating for them. Victims may even be frightened of authorities, seeing them as the bad guys. To request help or report possible human trafficking incidents, please call the National Human Trafficking Hotline, 1-888-3737-888, or text info or help at BeFree-233-733.
Thank you, and thank you to the ones that shared the video. I really appreciate it because when we share this, we push it to go further for other people to be aware, and when they become aware, they want to research more behind it. Just like if I see something, I'm gonna research more behind it. So just make sure that you share the video. Also, go to the YouTube channel, and also subscribe and comment your opinion. And the lines are open. So if you want to call in, comment or opinion or your story, the number is 512-668-2814. Okay. So he gave us some signs. What do y'all think about that? Because I mean, when you think about relationships with your children getting in a relationship, you start seeing things that's different in their character and the way they walk.
I think as parents of young preteens and teenagers, we just have to pay attention. You have to pay, we know our children, but you have to pay attention to pretty much their every move. If your daughter is talkative and then all of a sudden she doesn't talk as much, or all of a sudden she's become secretive, I mean, we just have to pay attention because sometimes the warning signs are actually there before we see him, or before we actually pay him any attention. So we just got to keep our eyes open. And he's just in his room, he's good. Well, why is he in his room? Why didn't she want to eat with us anymore? Why didn't she want to go with us places anymore? So we just got to wake up.
Yes, and also, we need to pay attention to also, the way they dress, how it's changing. Sometimes when you noticing some things, search behind it, because even like skipping school, you might not know, because I know some schools do not call or notify you that they're in school, and then when it's too late, then they want to tell you, oh well, they didn't make it to this class, or they left on this class, or they only did one class out of today. Check behind that. Set up to get emails. Be able to email the teacher. Develop a communication. So if your child is missing school, then even if they tell you, well, mom, I was there, or something else, take the time out, because I know a lot of us are single parents. A lot of us do work, but sometimes we got to make the ultimate sacrifice to sit outside of that school and watch. just to see if you see your child coming out, getting into another car, or any different type of activity. We have to take precautions now to protect our young ones. What are other type of signs do you think that, outside of what he said, that you think that could be a red flag for that your child is falling into the wrong hands, that could be possible human and sex trafficking? Because I know one thing is, like he said, when a man is way older than your child, I know a lot of us are against that because we're like, okay, my child might be 16 years old, but you in your 30s, or you look like you 30. Even though he might tell her one age, he could actually be another age. Like, well, can I see your driver license? I need, I'll, do a background check. If he's skeptical of give you any information, you need to research behind him,
Exactly.
because you never know what's gonna go on. What he's doing. Are you in school? Where you work at? Where you live at? Because even like with my daughter, I tell her, I said, well, who you going with? It's not about control. It's just that I'm protecting my child. I'm looking out for her. I can't make her do nothing she don't want to do because she is 22. But at the same time, we got to have a lot of communication because you never know. Just like I had took an Uber. I screenshot everything to my son, and he didn't know what I was doing at first. And when I told him, he's like, "Oh yes, ma'am, I get it now." And so that way he knew how long it took me to get there, how long it came back, what route he's taking. Even in your Ubers, if you take an Uber, you can share that location with
Yeah.
somebody else so they can see exactly where this person is taking you.
One thing I do when when I went to Miami, and we had to take an Uber. The first thing I checked was to make sure that the child locks were not on the door, because you don't think about that. But if you need to get out of that car and they got the child locks on or the windows locked, you can't get out. So I took a picture of the license plate, and I told my sister, check that door and make sure that child lock is not on that door.
Yes, that there is
That's a good idea.
I didn't think about that. That is
Me
good.
neither.
Before you get in there, check and make sure child lock is not on,
Mhm.
that you have some route of escape, because you never know. That's in anybody car.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have a habit putting my back doors on a child safe, but I'm not no kidnapper. But you do. This is something new that we could start doing, and educating our kids as well, or anybody else. When you get in there, even though you feel like you know this person, check and make sure the child lock is not on. Make sure
Mm-hmm.
you got a way to open your own door. And this way, you won't be in a situation. You can never be too cautious, because you could be with a person for 3 years. You still don't know them. Especially when they're trying to change the way you dress.
That's
You know,
Mm-hmm. It isolates you from your friends and your family.
exactly. So it's not just. I mean, if you look at it, it's almost in the same manner as domestic violence. Red flags, where they pull you from your family. They try to control where you go, what you do, who you talk to, where
Mm-hmm.
you walk, where you talk. So these people here, even I see something where they was taking your IDs, your phone. You know, you got to be careful of this. And sometimes a lot of us mothers have that intuition to where we can look at a person and say something ain't right about this person.
Mm-hmm. Quickly. Because
And
we
we
don't have rose colored glasses on at this point.
exactly, and that go for fathers too. Fathers can sit back and say, young man, we need to have a talk.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dwight, what do you think as a father with a young man? What are the things that you would look for?
well. For one, I wouldn't let my daughter. I'm not gonna. I wouldn't let my daughter date at a young age. She get 18, she can do that or what have you. But I would look out for a lot of things. If he's controlling, if he's off, and I agree with you said earlier, Spice. There's nothing wrong with doing the background check, you know. But nothing we say can really keep us safe. All we can do is talk to the young people, be aware of their surroundings, because you just don't know. You have people pulled up in vans, snagging people off the street and
Exactly.
everything. I hate to bring the movie up again. Even in Get Out, if you've seen the movie, the guy was in the suburban area. He was dating a girl. She set him up. He got kidnapped. Kidnapped for every reason, taking body parts. It's not always about the sex trafficking, but young people get abducted for their body parts and sell them in the black market.
Exactly.
You're not hearing about a bunch of old people getting kidnapped. You don't see too much of that. But we just got to be careful. You got to teach your young people to do what it takes to get away from a predator that's trying to take them and sell them across seas on the sex market. We live in a very dangerous world. And I also want to say that percentage of people are missing are black and brown people, which is 45% of them that's missing. And you don't even hear nothing about the news or anything about these people. So it's more than just white people. They should also concentrate on the black and brown people, because a lot of them are still missing today. 45% are black and brown people. So you just got to be careful when you step outside and talk to your children how to protect themselves, because you just don't know. Your neighbor could be somebody selling kids to the black market. You just got to be safe out there. Got to be careful out there.
For an example of someone getting kidnapped, and the neighbor didn't even know the man kidnapped a whole bunch of women. The Elizabeth Smart case.
Yeah.
The young ladies that were in the basement. And the black man got them out the house.
Yeah. And see, sometimes this is what a lot of people look at. You can't look at it no more as, oh, that's just TV, or that's just a movie. No. Sometimes you got to really look at the message within the movie, because
this is real life.
This is true, and a lot of them are true stories. Like Lifetime that we've seen, there are true stories. This has happened. Don't just be quick to assume that, oh, that happened to her, that won't happen to me.
Oh no.
And see, my thing is, I could give my daughter, she's 22, I can give her a taser. I can give her a mace. I can give her a blade. But my thing is, you never know. Sometimes you still got to be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, because if you're not quick enough, none of that stuff's going to matter.
Exactly.
Matter. These
I watch all my surroundings.
There'll be 2 or 3 of them snagging you up. You got to be careful.
Yeah. And then with things like the lady in Houston that got snatched out of the driveway, things that's happening now, we need to be aware. Mm-hmm. We need to pay more attention, because maybe, she could have said, well, I'm on my way home, meet me outside. Because I know I do that with my kids. Be like, okay, I'm down the street, I need you to meet me outside. Have somebody meet you right there. So if there's any suspicion around, you have somebody that's right there.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, look, there's a car here that I've never seen before, and he's been parked here for a minute. Whatever you do, don't pull up. Or either, if you pull up behind her and he's parked, stay in the car for a minute with the doors locked. Let that person observe the surrounding. And I can't stress even more in cameras. I know a lot of people say, well, I can't afford cameras. I'm going to tell you right now, that price of that camera is going to be worth your life.
Yeah.
Get a camera outside, get a camera in the backyard. If you can get a camera installed in your car, do that.
Mm-hmm. I had a situation where a very close relative of mine was on 6th Street, young lady.
You're muted. There you go. Mute it back again.
Let me see here.
Okay, there, I got it.
Oh, you got it?
A family member of mine, group of young ladies in their early 20s were on 6th Street drinking, and a gentleman bought her a drink and had it sent to her table. Little did she know he had put the date rape pill in her drink, and she remembers, she thought she was actually getting drunk, but she remembered the pill starting to take effect. We get a call about maybe 2:30 in the morning that she is about an hour away. They found her in a field, and someone had taken her to the nearest hospital, and we got a call and went there, and that's what happened. So no one even paid attention to him walking her out of the bar. They thought they were together. They thought he was just helping her because she was drunk. And so when you go out, you don't accept anything from anybody. You take your own money and buy your own drinks. I know it's flattering, but take your own money, buy your own drinks. Do not accept any drinks from somebody that's admiring you from across, because he's admiring you, all right, gonna walk you right out that door to his car. And she just got blessed because she was found. Sometimes it doesn't end that way.
True.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That is so
That is
true.
true.
We're lucky, very blessed and lucky on that one.
And like I said, these
Mm-hmm.
here can tie in together because it don't actually have to be just to rape a person. Like we say, it could be to lead you into to they could lead you into a van or lead you into a vehicle in order to get you to a place where you could be sold.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we all
Most
have to be careful no matter what. Even little boys, you got to it's not just the females. You got to be careful with the little boys because
exactly.
they touching little boys too.
Yep. My
They,
son almost got kidnapped at the age 4, coming
yeah,
home from school in a hatchback, a little white hatchback car,
mm,
black tinted windows. But I already had, I was pregnant with the twins at the time, and I had already had a premonition, like a dream. So I told my son, never get in the car, you'll never come back. I have to be brutal. Even on the news, they said be brutal with the children. I know it's scary, but you got to tell them, you get in that car, I'll never see you again. They're gonna take you away. You're gonna go to heaven, and you'll never see us again. And he said, I'll never come back. Well, maybe I can come back and visit. 4-year-old, no, you won't be able to come back and see grandma, grandpa, nobody. Nobody will see you ever again if you get in that car. So one day after school, he was supposed to be walking home with a little girl. They were both supposed to come home to the house. And she decided she wanted to go off with a friend and told my little 4-year-old, about to be 5, to walk home by himself. He had no idea where he was. He was lost in the neighborhood. Only thing he could remember was the rooftop of our apartment complex. The man drove up on him because my son was lost, so he was crying. So the man was trying to lure him in the car, talking about, I have some candies, I have video game, you can get in the car, and stuff. And my son, I instructed him before to scream, yell, and run. So that's exactly what he did. Scream, yell, and ran as fast as he could. He lost, he didn't care what he lost. He jumped over many fences to get to my house. And I was so in a panic.
take it in.
He jumped over a whole bunch of fences. My baby was crying. He almost got kidnapped and taken away from me at the age 4.5 years old.
Yes,
And he's 26 years old now,
yeah,
and he still remembers it.
yeah. And see, this is the thing. They don't care about how they traumatizing people. They don't
No,
care about your family. They do not care about your feelings. All they
no,
care about is getting you for a price to sell.
yep.
That's it.
And
But I don't think this man, he was just going to he was a
That's
pedophile.
true, Spicy.
He
Because
was a
I
pedophile. This particular person was a pedophile, and he was on high alert. They were looking for him.
wow, wow. I'm so sorry that happened. And this is why I say this here needed to be told. And talking about it,
mm-hmm.
we
Yeah,
need to get educated about it. We need to take precautions, be aware of the red flags, because this time of day is getting worse than when we was coming up.
yeah, way worse.
So my thing is like, if you know
Mm-hmm.
somebody that's young and naive, share the story, share the information, share the number. You know, we got to help whatever way we can. Saving one child is just like saving a multitude. We thank God we didn't have to sit here and discuss Kelsey Glenn. We thank God that she's safely at home.
Mm-hmm.
That was the case with her.
Mm-hmm.
He was a pedophile and she was kidnapped. You know, I thank God, that she is safe at home now. We pray that, you know, that she can get help and that get better educated. I'm pretty sure this has woke up the family to where they're going to be more focused now.
And vigilant.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And
Yes.
sometimes, Spicy, we as a community, we don't pay attention. Stuff could be happening right under our nose,
True.
and we don't pay attention again until it's too late
Like,
and the child is gone, or, because we have to see stuff. I'm going to mind my own business. I'm going to stay in my lane,
there
well,
it
we
is.
can't stay in
I
our
don't want to get
lane.
involved.
She said,
We
I hear
can't,
that. That's none of my business.
Exactly.
we can't do that,
Realize
because then we have
you're a
situations
part
like
of it.
this that
They're like now they got their law, failure to render aid. You're a part of
yep.
that crime when you don't do something.
Mm-hmm.
Even as easy as calling a law. How hard is that?
To pick up the phone and go, oh, I don't want to be a snitch. That is not a snitch. Y'all need to put that crap in the trash. Talking about I'm not a snitch.
If
No,
it come to my child, please snitch.
Please. I won't hold nothing against you.
yeah. Because I'm telling you, my thing is, I got eyes where people call, inbox me and tell me things, but we just got to come together. Like they said, it takes the whole village. It
Yes.
takes the village,
Yes.
and
And we
Oh
used to
yes, it
have
does.
villages. We used to have them.
yeah. But you got so many now that's afraid of their life, or they just like you said, they don't want to get involved.
Nope. Nobody wants to be responsible for nobody else but themselves. And
Exactly.
sometimes not even for themselves.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's sad. And all we could do is just pray for these children. I mean, it touches my heart when I first found out that these kids were snatched. To see this video with the guy with the bus load of children. And like I said, go to TikTok or look up his name. I think he's also on YouTube. But he does his own investigation. And like I said, I was gonna share a first part because it's a long video, and it was just gonna be too long. So I was like, I do the first half, but once you watch it all the way through, your heart is really gonna melt. It's really gonna have you to where you know what, I need to pay attention. And make sure you share his story. Make sure you share his thing. That's one thing I don't do. I don't put a barricade for nobody to share my lives, to share anything that is informative, because that's how we get other people educated and wake other people up. As
Yeah.
well as when you say supporting
Mhm.
people's business, the way you support other business, share their flyer, share their business card. That's what I do on here. I never will ever, stop, because, I want to support other businesses. There's a lot of businesses that I could say that, I don't get supported by, but I continue to support them because I want to see people rise, you know, but we're gonna look at this next video, and we will discuss it as well. But as y'all see the number going by there, the National Human Trafficking Hotline, 888-373-7888, or you could text help or info to 233-733. Thank you, and hold for this here. This is a video. Please pay close attention.
There are 5 main traits that traffickers always look for when choosing their victim, whether it's a child or an adult. The first one is vulnerability. Children that come from broken homes and broken families that have been abandoned, abused, and neglected. This is why foster children are at the highest of becoming a victim of human trafficking, because they are constantly alone. In adults, they look for vulnerabilities that are more like substance abuse. The second trait that traffickers look for when choosing a victim is the forgotten. Traffickers are true predators, and they often choose victims that society has forgotten about and that no one will realize that they went missing. This group often includes foster children, along with runaway children and young adults that have become drifters. The third trait is no supervision. It is actually vulnerability as well, but it falls into its own category because of children of all backgrounds can fall into this. Parents get busy with their everyday life and they leave their children to their own devices. This often leads these children to hang in places that they should not be and to talk to some people that they should not be talking to, meaning people online or from social media. There has been also many stories where children come from very good homes and that become simply victims because their parents didn't know where they are and who they talk to. Parents need to make time for their children's lives. If parents can understand who their children is interacting with in their everyday life and on social media, there is no risk of a trafficker coming in. The fourth trait is moneymakers. Many traffickers will just exploit any children or young adult, regardless of their sex, age, or attractiveness. There are some highly organized trafficking rings that do exist and that specialize in very disturbing black markets of child prostitution, child pornography, etc. In these very disturbing rings, sex, age, and attractiveness do matter. These rings will target a child or an individual that fits a certain description, regardless of any other factor. For the right price, they will take any children or young adults via forceful abduction. These types of rings are rare, but they do exist. Now we have mentioned drug abuse already. What people don't realize is that it doesn't take higher drugs for a child to be taken away. One child and around those people buy drugs from them. Traffickers hang around them while they are doing it. This makes them vulnerable. This makes them an easy target because they have no friends and they don't know how to defend themselves. Therefore, they can be taken away very easily by traffickers. This was the 5 main traits that traffickers look for when choosing a victim.
Wow. Did you see that just for a child that's blonde hair and blue eyes can be sold for $300,000?
$300,000.
How much?
$300,000.
300,000.
Dang.
No, I told you they order them like they food or something. They order them up.
Wasn't that dude that owned his own island? Was his name Weinstein? Wasn't he doing something like that?
Oh, Epstein.
Epstein. Okay.
His name
Yes.
is Epstein.
The one that killed himself.
He was something similar to that,
Yes.
but he wasn't really selling them. He was just doing it himself.
Yes. For
But
himself.
he messed up a lot of young girls' lives too
Yes. He
with
did.
drugs.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad, and I mean, it to me, it's emotional because
Yeah, it is.
being a mother that lost 2 children in death, I cannot imagine to know your child is taken and not knowing where they at or how they feeling or are they being hurt or anything.
Nope.
And as you see, like I said, internet is one place, but you see the other things he said as well. So a woman in her 20s could be out there at a party, and like Keisha said, be careful what you drink from a person, and something could be slipped in your drink.
Easy.
Easy, and the next thing you know, when you do come through, you're bound tied to a chair,
All right.
already
Yeah.
raped. You have to be careful. And like I said, going out. I mean, if I leave my drink down, I do not
Just
drink
get
it.
left.
I don't drink it when I come back. I order me another one. And like I said, if you don't know somebody, don't allow anyone to buy your drink. You do not know who they are.
Take
You
your own
know,
money.
take your own money.
Exactly.
Even a guy that want to take you out on a date, take your own car, your own vehicle. But let somebody know where you going at each step. Oh, we leaving the bar now. We finna go to this place over here. So somebody know. Cut your location on so somebody can be able to track where you're at. So if
Mm-hmm.
anything's out of suspicion, immediately let them call the law or immediately get over to them and where they're going.
Yeah.
But my thing is in this generation with these children, it's got to be something to wake them up. Because you do have these girls, like they say, ones that are loners, ones that's not getting enough attention. You know,
Yeah.
you do have those single parents that get caught up in, their work, their career, to where, yes, we're not saying you don't love your children, but you're forgetting that you still have to keep focused and pay attention because somebody could be far off and be watching you and see, okay, she always go to work. She work 12 hours, 6 days a week. So I know this little girl's at home. I know she want to get out the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And it's sad. It's sad.
Or
And
they're watching your schedule.
yes,
They're
and
watching
TT,
you for you.
yes. And TT says, yep. And Jeffrey Epstein was attracted to a lot of major political figures and celebrities.
Trump was one of them.
Yet sex trafficking happens
Well,
at
Trump
low
did.
levels as well. I just heard about a young girl being passed around an apartment complex.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow. Oh wow. And
That's
my
sad.
and then my thing is it's like, it's just like the 10 o'clock news used to say. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children at?
Yes.
yeah.
I
But
remember that.
but now even before 10, you got to know where they at.
Mm-hmm.
Stress to your children. It's not about control. This day and time is so dangerous. Too many children are coming up dead, coming up missing, and we're never seeing you. I don't want to bury another child. I need to know exactly where you're going, who you with, and see what you're wearing.
Yes. Just
But
in case.
yes, but pray over your children as well. Because I know these children in this generation, it's hard to get through to them. It's hard to talk to them, and they think they know everything, and they
Yep.
act untouchable. But do what you got to do to reach this generation, to talk to our young ladies, to talk to our young men, to wake them up, to let them know I'm trying to protect you.
Yep.
I love you. I don't want to see anything happen to you. And
Yep.
let me see. I got to put my glasses on today. My eyes are tripping. TT says sex trafficking happens at low levels as well. And then she says,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, these kids feel invincible. And that's the thing. They feel invincible. And my thing is, I know a while back, my daughter, stated, I don't want to die. I'm scared to die. Okay, then stop thinking I'm trying to control you and listen. There's things that mama see and she's aware of that she's trying to protect you from.
Yep.
And we got to find a way. And my thing is, this is a problem. We need to learn how to talk to our children to where they feel comfortable and feel they're able to come to you and talk to you. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have that comfort zone. I had a comfort zone with my grandmother because, my thing is, don't scream at them all the time. Don't holler. Don't think everything is always going to have it. Because I know I have an authoritative voice, especially when I'm trying to get a message across to my children. But we got to find a different way. Just like I take my daughter and I'm like, I just want to talk to you. I'm not fussing at you. I just want to talk to you. I want you to understand I'm not trying to control you. I respect you say you grown. But no matter what, I'm going to be mama. I have to be mama.
Always gonna be concerned.
I'm always going to worry. I'm
Mm-hmm.
always going to be concerned. It's not about control. I just want to make sure you're safe.
Yep.
And and just like Titi say, a lot of these kids do feel like they invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know I did. I remember when I was 20, 21 years old. I know how I felt. I'm grown. I do what I want to do. I ain't got to tell you where I'm going. I remember all that. And then I look back on it and I said, damn, you stupid.
I don't think I used those words until actually I got to paying for my own bills.
I did. I was living in my own place at this time. I was out the house by 18. I was out.
Yeah, see, I didn't leave home till I was, I think, at 21.
I was 18. So I felt like I wanted. I always
still
want.
make a
I've been
point to
sheltered.
tell somebody where I'm from now.
Exactly, and see, Keisha's right, because it's just like I explained before. I'm 50 now. I was in my 40s. I didn't live with my mother, but when I went out with my coworkers, I would call my mother or I would text her, "Mom, I'm going out with my coworkers. This is their name. This is where we're going." If I leave, whether she was asleep or not, if I left that bar to go to another bar, Mom, I'm leaving at this time. We're going to this bar over here now, and I'm still with such and such, such and such. Then, and then, I mean, even though she didn't agree with it at the time, you know, it was the fact that I had to let her know so my mom wouldn't worry. So that if something did happen, she could tell, well, officer, here's her text messages. This is the last known place she was at.
Yeah.
And she told me she was still in her work uniform.
Yeah.
Which I was still in my work uniform.
Yeah.
And then when I made it home, I let her know I'm home. I'm safe with the kids and the doors are locked.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in my 40s. These kids are 18 and 20 and feel like I'm not gonna tell you where I'm
I don't tell you where I'm going.
Because see, my thing is, as long as you're in my house, you don't have a business. You have a business when you get your own house.
Yes. But unfortunately for my mom, I had my own place, so
I have my own place.
But don't get it twisted.
18 years, I had my own place where I was going. Even at 18, my own place, me and Jeffrey, we cousin roommates, but we did call mama, let them know where we was doing, where we were going. We just didn't tell them, y'all can't come to the house, but we're going to let y'all know where we're going. You know, we ain't about business like that, though, but we all where we was going.
Yeah, even like now, it's like
they need to do that.
Everybody can predict where Spicy at. They're like, oh, she probably at home. Oh, she probably just had a doctor appointment, but she'll be back. Or today's Sunday, she gone to church. You know, but you know, since Monday and everything, I haven't been to church, but you know, I still love God, do what I gotta do. But my thing is that I'm predictable to where people know. You know, if I don't answer the phone, I'm asleep, you know. And my thing is I try, you know, back in the day, I did try to ease my mom's conscience because when I didn't answer the phone, which I do, I mean, I got funny ways. I get moods to where I don't want to be bothered. So I won't answer my door. I won't answer my phone. But now I got a business. I have no choice. But, you know, I was on for sale. And she came beating on the windows and I wouldn't answer the door. You know, it was just fact, I didn't want to be bothered with nobody, you know, and the neighbors called the MPs and the MPs came and I'm like, no, sir, that's my mom. And I can hear, she's like, I know you in there, you know? So, yeah, but I mean, it's good to let somebody know something because you never know. But see, even me doing that back, you know, back then was not good because what if I was laying on the floor dead?
Yeah,
exactly.
I said the same thing. Exactly. That's why I said, "Oh, you stupid."
Somebody had kidnapped up in there. What somebody was holding me hostage.
Yes.
Never know. Especially now, because now they're getting bold to where they doing things in broad daylight.
Yeah, broad daylight.
When my son was 4, and I didn't even, I took it for granted to talk to my kids. So parents, please, if you're listening to this, talk to your kids. If they old enough to walk outside by themselves, this conversation needs to be had. My 4-year-old, he was 4, and he was at the little YMCA. A guy walked in, and apparently he had befriended my son because my son wasn't afraid of him. The lady at the daycare let him take my son out of the daycare. He told her he was a family member. I'm at work. I knew none of this. That he was a family member. So he took my son, took him to the little corner store and bought him snacks and cookies and chips and drinks, let him get fat full. And all this was caught on camera. Then he took him to the city bus, to the Capital Metro city bus. And my baby was 4. He put him on the bus, gave him the fare, put him on the bus. But if you look at the camera from the bus, he wouldn't step on the bus enough because they have cameras to catch his face. So he put my little 4-year-old son on the bus. My little boy put the money in there and went sat in the seat, and the bus took off. And she, started to do her route. Nobody paid it any attention that this 4-year-old little boy is on the bus by himself.
Wow.
So I'm at work, so didn't know nothing about it. So what the guy was going to do was, because he didn't want to be seen with him, he knew my son didn't know how to get off the bus. He was going to catch the next bus coming around, thinking that my son would still be on the bus. Somehow, and I don't even thank you, Jesus, to this day, my 4-year-old son pushed the little bell, and I didn't even know he knew the area that well. Pushed the button, got off the bus, and started walking back down to the old daycare that he used to go to.
Oh, wow.
They called me. He was dirty, and so many people got it. So many adults got in trouble. The Capital Metro people got in trouble. The daycare lady, because this 4-year-old then went through so many hands. And if he would have made it back around and that man would have got back on that bus, my 4-year-old son would have been gone to this day. But he was smart. And I asked him, how did you know? He said, I was just getting too far from home. And walked, and he was on airport. I don't know if y'all. He walked all the way back down airport on 12th Street, all the way back down to the old daycare. He didn't even go to that daycare no more. Walked to the old daycare, and that's how all the police and everybody got involved. So this man was bold, walked him right out the daycare, and did this. So and I didn't talk to him, so I didn't tell him stranger danger, scream. If somebody I didn't teach him that. He just did it on his own. And to this, he's 16. And I asked him do you remember? He said, yeah, Mom, I do remember that. And it just saddens me because I'm the parent and I didn't even talk to my kids. Now my younger ones, I talk to them because that quick, he could have been gone. 4 years old, could have been gone, never seen him again, or found him somewhere in a field or something like that, because the man was a pedophile. He had no good intentions for my son, but to mess over him. So I thank God every day.
They should get in trouble because one, with the daycare, you should have listed on file who is supposed to pick up your kids, who has the permission to pick up the kids. Then identification. Okay, it shouldn't have been that easy. And I know times has changed. But it shouldn't have never been that easy for anybody just to walk in off the street and say, I'm here to get this child. And then, like you said, when it comes down to transit, they should have been paying attention. Why is there a 4-year-old on this bus by himself?
Yeah.
4 years old. At that time, the transit driver should have notified police.
Right then and there.
Yep. Exactly. So a lot of people got in trouble that day because one, the transit driver, she didn't follow protocol because she should have called the police, and that's what they told her. You saw the man put the child on the bus, but he didn't get on the bus. So why wouldn't you call? That should have been a red flag right there. There's an adult putting the child on the bus.
What was her excuse?
Exactly.
She didn't give one. Because kids used to ride the bus back then to school because there were not that many school buses. He was 4. This was toward the evening. He had no backpack. He didn't look like he was getting out of school. This was probably around 5 o'clock. So there was no school letting out that late for little kids that little. No. So once we caught and we watched the camera, and they still didn't catch the guy. Wow. My son, he said his name, but we still did not catch him. So we had to take him to the hospital and, get the rape kit. And it was a big old situation. And it made me look at how I talk to my children because I took it for granted. Oh, this will never happen to me. They safe. They had daycare, walked right in daycare and took him out.
That easy.
Wow.
Real easy.
And he's now 16.
He is 16 and playing basketball.
Blessed.
Yes.
A big 16-year-old.
Really.
I'm talking about big.
It's amazing, but it is a story that's, percentage that 4 out of 10 people is going to be victimized in one way or another.
Yes. True. That's true. But what we're gonna do before we go towards the end of the show, we're gonna take a look at this last video. And like I told y'all before, if you see any signs or you feel like you caught in a situation, there's a national human trafficking hotline. Please use it. It's 888-373-7888. You also can text some help or info to 233-733. Especially if you want to just get information about it. We just here to bring awareness to, educate some people on it and trying to get some ways to where we can protect ourselves or even your own children. So we're going to go to this last video.
Today, if you saw somebody chained to a post, you would do something about it. But in the days of the transatlantic
Human trafficking is one of the forms of trauma that when you really understand what people are going through and what is being done to them, if you believe in any kind of existential philosophy, I think it is as close to true evil as I have ever seen in my work with people who have been harmed by other people. And I do a lot of work in interpersonal violence.
Every girl is at risk simply because they are a girl. We want all girls educated in the risks about relationships, just like we believe all girls should be educated and have knowledge about human trafficking, so they know what to do. So it's important to have that conversation with girls, not just sweep it under the carpet, never my girl, never her.
There's something unique about the violation of the body. And when I teach about human trafficking, one of the things I talk about is how the body is actually the scene of the crime. So because it is a violation of one's physical person through sexual behavior, there's actually no way to escape it. You can't get away, you can't wash it off, you cannot forget, you cannot get out. You actually take the violated body with you into your new life if you are ever lucky enough to escape human trafficking.
So there's various ways that a girl can be recruited. A lot of ways that we see is what we call boyfriending. So the young girl meets a guy who, she describes as her boyfriend. Guy can build trust, and then he can start to demand things of her. If you loved me, you would do this. And she will 100% believe and describe him as her boyfriend, but in reality, he is pimping her out, and that's probably one of the major ways. And, sometimes they're too afraid to say anything because of judgment from parents and people that are close to them. What would they say?
And so for me, it's such a painful but passionate piece of work. I'm always shocked when I realize how few members of the community actually know that human trafficking is happening underneath their very noses.
So through our strategy, we're looking at prevention through education. So partnerships with the school boards are really important, letting parents know, letting kids know, teachers, educators, that's huge, starting at the base level. And then intervention through our support network. So support services that are working with more vulnerable youth.
Because for every survivor that we work with, every survivor that we rescue, they will tell us about multiple other survivors that nobody has found, that nobody has saved, that has never been able to reach out for help, and may literally never escape the darkness.
Looking at that last part, it makes me be grateful sometimes that when people do video things, because even if something is going on and they don't feel safe with that person or that person's behavior change, they can immediately record it and go live so people can see, and then there's one person can call the law.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give y'all this opportunity. I mean, I really appreciate y'all sharing y'all stories, and also, the red flags and education, so others would know. And hopefully this message can get out to where it does wake other women and men up to pay more attention, to be more wise, to do more research behind a person because everybody's not who you think they are. You
No.
know, it's no longer them scoping out at football games or parties. They heavily on the internet, heavily,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and
Definitely.
they could appear online as somebody that is your age, that is, like they say, what, catfishing. And before you know it, when you're gonna meet this person, which is I'm really realizing now on TikTok, is that I've seen a lady that flew from one state to another just to meet this guy that she talked to online. And my thing was is that you don't even know him. You went by yourself. When she got there, she got on live. He never. This is what was suspect though. He never wanted to be on the video with her.
Red flag.
Yeah.
So I was glad that she ended up showing the video. She was back at home. It didn't work, but you have to be careful because that could have ended up badly. Because that is a sign when somebody don't want to do something with you. And he's a TikToker too, but he never, when she was doing a TikTok video while she was at his home, he never wanted to be on the video with her. He was never on the video. And if he was on it, the cover was over him. You couldn't
Yeah.
really make him out. So you have to
Mm-mm.
be careful when somebody can't look you in the eye, when they covering themselves to where nobody could identify them. You got to look at that as a red flag. But don't be so quick to meet these guys off the internet and be quick to go off with them because you do not know them.
Or
And
vice versa now. Be
yes,
careful with the ways.
yes. So, you know, um, hi Lisa, thank you for tuning in. So I just want y'all to, just beware out there, educate your children, educate your family members. And, also don't forget, we do still have, next month is October, Domestic Violence Month. Make sure you look out for this flyer. Put a purple heart on it. Inbox me your phone number, and you'll stand a chance of winning one of the prizes by NVS. They help provide, a beautiful unisex head for a man or a woman. So this is one of the raffle items as well. And also with Samal Set Apart, located in Ingram Park Mall, they help provide a shirt for a man and a woman. Good quality. I got a lot of these shirts. I almost got every color really. They let me know. Okay, Spicy, you already got everything here. We wait till the new stuff come out. So they do have that. And also we have K&L Boutique that's also provided the men's leather wallet and the purse for the women. So make sure you get your hearts in, and you have to inbox me your phone number so to complete the entry. If you do not inbox the number, we cannot put your name in the raffle box because we will be calling y'all live. Hopefully during that time, because it will be towards the end of the month when we draw the name. Hopefully then I'll be well enough to appear on the screen. As y'all know, my handsome co-host, he's gonna take over starting October month. So don't forget also, we it won't. This is not our last show. Uh, this we're gonna also have a show on Saturday. We will be me and Dwight hosting that Hopeless Romantic with movie producer and director Mikey J. He's coming in with a cast members. I'm so excited. I'm really wanting to know what this is about. The title alone is catchy. So make sure y'all tune in this Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we'll be discussing that. And then Monday, I go into surgery. And then just keep eyes on the post for, you know, Thursday's show. So just tune in, make sure you share. I'm going to leave it to my co-host right now to share some nutritional words that he want to get out to anybody that could be watching.
This show was a great show. A lot of people don't. Me and my twin brother almost got abducted on the train because my father was in the Air Force and my mama had us. We was twins. I was much cuter then because me and my brother was real light skinned with auburn hair. And white lady, I don't know, it was me or him. She was trying to run off with one of us and almost got away if the people didn't point her out. So either I couldn't have been here or my twin brother could have been here. We could have been somewhere who's to say, but you got to be very careful with your kids, your babies, and talk to your kids and just explain to them that the world is not a nice place. People get abducted every single day. I mean, the kids, teenagers, and even grown women in their 20s and 30s. So just protect yourself at all times, talk to your family. Also let people know where you're going so they have an idea. If you do come up missing, they have a lead to follow. So the police won't be running around in circles, but just protect yourself out there by all means and just be careful. This world is not a pretty place. Please be careful while you're out there.
And also, before I let my other two, my sister co-hosts give a word to y'all, we want to make y'all aware of an event that's happening this Saturday. So pay attention to this here and go out and support her. Fabulous lady. And I'm telling you, really, truly going to enjoy it.
From the #1 best-selling author and viral Facebook video sensation, Titi Ledette, comes The Pink Elephant in the Middle of the Ghetto stage play. Starring American Idol contestant Kaya Monet, Hazel Marie, Kevin Hutchinson, and introducing Archie J. Jenkins and Demaya Rogers. Also starring Titi Ledette as the narrator. Tickets are on sale now.
Hey, it's your girl TT Ledette. I am extending a personal invitation to the Pink Elephant stage play. We have 2 show times as well as an after party to meet the baddest cast. So join us Saturday, October 2nd at the San Antonio School of Performing Arts, and that is 11210 Disco Street. That is near San Antonio's airport. So again, I'll see you Saturday, October 2nd at 2 p.m., 7 p.m., and our after party at 11 p.m. See you there. Love you.
So that's October 2nd. Y'all go out and show her some love and support. It's going to be a great play. And also, we're going to leave this now to our assistant co-host, Tanaise, to give y'all a nutritional word.
Well, since I got on my little tear fest, but just it's almost going to be the same thing. Just be so vigilant out there. Watch your children. Watch your family members. Family members don't. Husbands, wives, family members don't. When someone asks you where you're going, don't get so defensive, like we're trying to control your life. Just be courteous and just tell them the person won't worry about you, as well as your grown children, relatives, people that you're close to. It's easier just to tell the person where you're going to be if something happens, somebody be able to find you, or at least give a area where you're at, or somewhere where you're at, or something. Just be safe out there, people. Just be really, really safe, and God bless you all. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Lisa Gigi, thank you so much for tuning in with the show. She gave a good idea, which I didn't think of either. She says, I have a tracker on my grandkids' phones.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a good idea. Even our youth ones that have vehicles, I think it's a good idea for a tracker as well. Not so much as control, but as protection. You know, and also Eller, she's interested in the tickets, TT. So TT, if you would send a link to my page so they can see it, or send Eller a link so that they can purchase the tickets to the play. And yes, it does look interesting. I heard some of the stories, so I'm telling you, it's gonna be good. So make sure you tune in. That's October 2nd, and TT Ledette. What's it called? Pink Elephant. Yes. So we're gonna go to Keisha with a nutritional word to lead us out.
All right. Great topic, great show, very informative. We just have to stick together as one, just one hand connecting to the next to get the word out, to spread the awareness so that our young people know, even our old people. I mean, it doesn't matter. Abduction comes in any age and at every age. So stay safe. Please keep your loved ones safe. Keep our eyes open. If you see someone needs help, call the police. If you don't want to get involved, call the police. Write down the license plate. Get a description of the person that's causing the harm, because you can be the only piece of evidence to save this person. So that's it. Nothing but love.
And I want to say thank y'all all for loving on me. Thank y'all all for tuning in. Y'all are what make the show. All the shares, all the likes, the comments, call-ins. Thank y'all so much. This has been a great show. I have no regrets in doing it. I do ask y'all to look up the guy that on TikTok to see the rest of his story. Also, do your research on it. Find some other tactics and red flags that you could do to prevent it happening to your loved ones. Have that family talk. Have that discussion with your sister and your brother, your children, your grandkids. We can only offer some of the tools um, to help everyone. But I do appreciate y'all all tuning in out there on YouTube. Thank y'all so much. I do see the comments and everything on YouTube. I do go back and watch the show after we finish and I'm settled down. But like I said, I have so much love for y'all. Y'all are what make what I am today. And I thank y'all. One is God. But thank y'all so much for viewing in today. And also tune in Saturday as we will have Mikey J, the movie producer and director, award winning. He has been busy, busy, busy. He's going to be bringing in some cast in to discuss the next movie coming up. So much love to y'all. Y'all be safe out there. And also don't forget, get your purple hearts up. Also, make sure you're sending your number. Win one of those prizes because I'm telling you, they're sweet. Thank you so much. Much love. And y'all have a blessed evening.
Mackenzie, Nehemiah.